Three strikes and still beating. I am AK Tyagaraja. Christmas 2020 felt like the world had hit pause. No family gatherings, no big dinners, no church services, just the four of us me, my wife, and the girls, trying to make some kind of celebration out of isolation. We even put up the lights and decorations, went through the motions because that's what you do. Tree, ornaments, gifts underneath. But it all felt muted. Someone had turned down the volume on life. I sat on the couch watching the girls open presents, pretending not to feel tired. The kind of tired that isn't about sleep, it's about weight, the weight of everything. We took the usual family photo, the four of us and the dog, smiling behind matching masks. It looked absurd, but also accurate. That was life now, joy with an asterisk. New Year's Eve came and went quietly. I had a few glasses of wine. It had become my COVID ritual. And we counted down from 10, watched the ball drop on TV. For a moment, it almost felt normal. I remember thinking, 2021 has to be better. It can't possibly get worse. I should have known better. The first couple of months of 2021 were all about hope. The vaccine was coming. I figured I'd be at the front of the line. I mean, I technically died once already. Surely that earns you some kind of medical fast pass, right? But no, the old folks went first. Apparently, heart patient wasn't enough street cred for the CDC. So I waited, watched the rollout on TV, needles going into arms, smiling selfies, hashtags like vaxxed and relaxed. Meanwhile, I was sitting at home, refreshing the appointment site like it was the NBA draft. Then the eligibility tiers came out. Healthcare workers, nursing homes, seniors, essential workers, and me? Apparently, I was general public. They lumped me with everyone else. That was embarrassing. I mean, I've literally died once. Doesn't that earn at least a priority code? Who do I even complain to? The CDC or God? Eventually, I got an appointment. 2 hours away. What choice did I have? If I had to drive to Antarctica for that vaccine, I would have done it. By mid May, I had gotten both vaccine doses, and so had my family. Life was starting to feel almost normal again, not just for me, but for the world. The death counts were dropping. Hospitals were finally catching their breath, and people were beginning to find each other again. We started cautiously stepping back into the world. Small gatherings, outdoor meetups, mass smiles. People were laughing again, clinking glasses again. But back in the back of my mind, I kept wondering, will life ever feel normal for me again? One bright spot in all of this: my older daughter got into several great colleges. She ended up choosing one that was just a couple of hours from home, close enough for comfort, far enough for freedom. It gave us something to celebrate, something to look forward to. We even made a short trip to Lake Tahoe, our first getaway in what felt like forever. Packed the car, loaded up snacks, masks, and our disloyal dog, who immediately claimed the best seat. For a few days, it almost felt like old times. Cool air, blue water, family laughter, a little slice of normalcy after a year that was anything but. But normalcy is a fragile thing. In mid May, I had a big presentation come up for the sales team. I'd been prepping all week, updating slides, getting input from my managers and co presenters. Around 9 the night before, I was doing my final dry run, sitting in my chair in front of my laptop, running through the slides, walking my talk track, trying to sound confident, trying to sound alive, and of course, sprinkling in a few silly jokes. If I was gonna go down, I might as well go down being funny. Then, out of nowhere, I felt a little woozy. The last thing I remember was my neck going limp and my head falling onto my right shoulder. I don't know how long I was out. 5, maybe 10 minutes? When I came to, I heard a faint zapping noise. I didn't know what to think. I just sat there, confused, trying to process what had happened. Then I went downstairs, chatted with my wife for a little bit. Later, helped my younger daughter with some homework. Watched a show with my wife. Went to bed like nothing had happened, except something had. I woke up extra early the next day. I had to prep for the big presentation. I was running through slides again, fine tuning my talk track. When the phone rang, I was going to ignore it. I only had 10 or 15 minutes before game time. But then I saw the caller ID, my cardiologist. I thought, why is he calling me now? To give me some tips for my big presentation? I picked up. He asked, "Did something strange happen last night?" I said yes and told him about the incident: the wooziness, the head drop, the blackout. He said, "That makes sense. I got a notification from your device. It fired because you were having arrhythmias and your heart rate started spiking. Thankfully, it worked. It likely prevented a full blown cardiac arrest." I was taken aback, though not completely surprised. I think Deep down, I knew something had happened, but I didn't want to admit it. Denial at its best. At least this time, no big damage was done. At least the $50,000 device did what it was supposed to do: fire and let the dogs know. Good job, little buddy. I was starting to think that thing was just an expensive paperweight. Then he said, I want you to come in right away. We also need to get some blood work done. I told him, Doc, I'll come in a couple of hours. I need to do a presentation first. There was a pause. I heard him mumble something under his breath. Either he was scolding me or just thoroughly disgusted. Honestly, could have been both. So I did the presentation with the whole episode buzzing in the back of my mind. I don't remember how it went. I just know I wrapped it up. Then I got in the car and headed to the cardiologist's office. On the way, I called my wife and gave her the update. She was dumbfounded and furious. Why are you driving by yourself? She said. You couldn't have told me? I would have driven you. She was right, of course. But admitting the danger out loud felt harder than driving. When I got to the office, my cardiologist checked the readouts and shook his head. Your device did exactly what it was built to do, he said. You were lucky this time. Then he looked at me and added, I'm going to loop in your electrophysiologist, EP. He will talk you through what happens next. The electrophysiologist, the electric guy, the one who installed the device, the one who speaks for the wires, the shocks, the invisible jolts that keep you alive. And just like that, the next chapter had already begun. That is the episode. If you're enjoying this podcast, tell a friend or family member to check out the first couple of episodes and decide for themselves. Beaten by life, still beating.